Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith. I need you to know that my favorite movie of all time is Heat. It is directed by Michael Mann. It stars Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. I absolutely love this movie. One of the biggest thrills for me was several years ago getting to meet the director, Michael Mann, at the Toronto International Film Festival. I say all of this to you because I want you to know that I hold my love of Heat very sacred. So, several weeks ago when I saw the trailer for the new movie Den of Thieves, two things came to mind. The first thing being, this looks like a complete Heat ripoff, and the second thing was, this movie looks really intense. So, going through this movie, I will tell you that I was very impressed with it. There are many similarities to Heat. So, for example, in this movie, we meet Gerard Butler, who is a career cop who was dedicated his entire life to taking down the bad guys at the expense of his own personal life. And on the other hand, we meet Pablo Schreiber's character, who is the bad guy, who was out of jail, vows he's never going back, who takes down really big scores. These two groups are on a collision course with each other, which is very similar to the plot of Heat. So, full disclosure, there are many things about this movie that seem to basically steal from Michael Mann's epic crime saga. So, I could look at this movie and say, this is just a Heat ripoff, or I could look at this movie and say, the director of this film, Christian Gudegas, and I hope I'm pronouncing that name right, not the Christian, but the Gudegas part, is like me. He realizes that Heat is one of the greatest films of all time, and what he's doing, in essence, is paying homage to said film. Let's go with that. In this movie, I will tell you, once you get past the similarities between Heat, and it does take you a while to do that, you are seeing some really intense performances. Now, the same writer behind this movie also wrote A Man Apart with Vin Diesel. It was kind of okay on that one. And he also wrote London Has Fallen. I loved Olympus Has Fallen, didn't care for the sequel, so I wasn't sure if I was going to like this movie. But the writing in this film is really well done. Also, the performances are really great. Gerard Butler can sometimes be a hit or miss actor, respectfully. Sometimes he's really great in performances, sometimes not so much. In this performance, he felt like that career cop who's just completely dedicated his life to his service and to hell with everything else that's going on in his life. Pablo Schreiber, half-brother of Lieb, who I wasn't familiar with before, but he was extremely intense in this film. You believe that this guy at any given time, if he needed to, was going to take somebody out. Now, respectfully, Gerard Butler will not be mistaken with Al Pacino, and Pablo Schreiber will not be mistaken for Robert De Niro. But what is crystal clear about this film is if you go and see this movie, regardless of whether you've seen Heat or not, you're going to enjoy it. The casting in this movie was very well done also. You got Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is in this movie. O'Shea Jackson Jr., a.k.a. Little Ice Cube, is in this movie. Very strong cast. And also, there are people that are cast in this film that you'll recognize and you'll think to yourself, okay, why are you in this movie? What's your role in this? And also, as much as I've mentioned Heat in this, after you see this movie, you will realize that Heat is not the only movie that has inspired this director. That is a tease. Ladies and gentlemen, what is not a tease is Den of Thieves is a very entertaining film. It is very well done, very well shot. I liked it. I liked the story. I liked the character development. I left this movie thinking to myself, I thought I was going in getting one thing, but I got something completely different. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to actually see it again, and I give this movie a B. If you have the chance to see Den of Thieves, let me know what you think. CFL_fan on Twitter, Facebook.com/WittyWhittier, and WittyWhittier.com. Thank you so much for checking this out. My name is Keith, and I'll see you at the movies.